Fury fam, Dolphins fans, everybody out there. We got members in the building. Suicide Hotline, aka Michael K, is in the building. I know Lucci's in the building. Of course he is. He's part of the show. I had a members only video released earlier today to talk about ride or die fans and all that other rhetoric going on. So if you're a member, go check out that behind the scenes video. Shake and I are cooking up something for you guys that's going to encompass some of my lawyer skills in with the Miami Dolphins. And it was Shake's idea as usual. Shake, man, he's a mastermind behind a lot of this channel. So we got that coming up for you later, maybe the off season. But for now, it's another week in the NFL, in the gauntlet of the NFL schedule. Our Miami Dolphins are now only 2 games below 500, and they're aiming for a shot at actually making this season interesting. Now, I'm telling you right now, and Mike, thanks for watching, my brother. I didn't get to check all the comments yet. I'm going to go back and check as soon as this show's over. So glad that you watched. Glad you got something from it. I try to give what I can in that regard. Hey, I'll talk to you guys a little bit solo when you're a member of the channel. So make sure you click join if you're interested in supporting the channel, keeping it running, keeping the lights on, so to speak. Make sure you hit subscribe and hit like while you're in here, by the way. Click that subscribe button, click that like button. Let's grow this channel and continue to do it. We are what we are. We're never going to be the biggest channel out there in Finsland, but we're trying to be a contender. We're trying to be a player. I think we've arrived. And when I say we, it's because it's not just me. It's you guys. It's the listeners, the members, and the co-hosts, the guys who create content for this channel. We have a ton now. I know G had another rant video. I didn't get to post it yet. That will be posted soon. We have a lot of things coming from a lot of people, so your support is always appreciated. But look, our Miami Dolphins, 2 games below 500. I'm not the type of fan to start getting all crazy and excited and hyped because we beat, one team 2 weeks ago in the Rams, who weren't really playing very good at all. Then we beat the Raiders, who are struggling as well. I'm not going to get all excited and start jumping for joy and telling you how great we're going to be. And, if this team loses, if we beat this team, if we do this, if we do that, that to me is for fans that really can't keep their eye on the ball and just keep it real and just, approach football a little more objectively. That's for people that just want to get their hopes up for no good reason. But I will tell you the facts as they come in. And, just to prove to you, I'm not a hard-hearted man. If you know where that quote is from, you should know where that's from. I'm going to tell you something about Tua Tagovailoa, and a guy that I've been critical of for a long time. Now, I want you to understand something, especially because a lot of people who listen to this channel regularly expect a certain amount of objectivity from me and expect me to keep it real. I'm not saying right now that I'm declaring or anointing Tua Tagovailoa some kind of elite quarterback, or that he can get it done in the cold weather or towards the end of the season, because we know Tua has documented issues when it comes to crunch time, when it comes to the end of the season, when it comes to cold weather games, when it comes to better opponents. So don't think that I'm getting ahead of myself here. I still have those concerns. I still think that's going to be a concern come the end of the season, come crunch time. I'm not changing my opinion right now. Let's see it. Let Tua change my opinion before I change it for him, right? But at the end of the day, and by the way, Michael K wants to tell you something as a Fury fan member who's actually a Bills fan. Join the channel, less than a cup of coffee, but a little more than the Dolphins available salary cap. Great dude all around, and a Buffalo fan who's also a member. So everybody gets a little something from supporting the channel. And we hope that, whatever entertainment and whatever conversation you like, you get from this channel. That's why we do it. But so Tua Tagovailoa, let's just talk about him. He goes 28 for 36, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions on Sunday. That's a nice performance, man. That's a really good performance. And he did have the fumble once again, and even the commentators were saying, this has been a problem for Tua. This is something he goes through. He has these issues. He fumbles the ball. He's got to hang on to it. But when you look at Tua's stats, 28 of 36 for 288 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. And then you look at the eye test. I mentioned this a few games ago. I started to see this even against the Cardinals, and I talked about the fact that I started to see Tua for maybe the first time in his career as a Miami Dolphin. I started to see Tua keep the ball in his hand, navigate the pocket with a little bit better pocket awareness, keep his eyes down the field, and deliver the ball in plays that weren't necessarily scripted. And I thought that was kind of a revelation and a step forward for him. Now, does that mean that all bets are off and Larry Crane's, on the Tua train, all that. No, it doesn't. But it's just pointing out, just to show you that I keep it real, pointing out that has been some progress I've seen that has been a good thing that I've really liked to see from him. And that's part of the reason we're winning. Now, another part of the reason we're winning is these teams are just not good, right? They got a lot of issues. They're not the better teams. They're not the cream of the crop. And we have another team coming up in the New England Patriots who have been playing a bit better. And May has been showing something with the Patriots, and they're showing signs of life. And teams in football, people don't always understand this. Teams hit their stride almost in the back end of the season. And unlike hockey and baseball and basketball, where your season's so long that you're hitting your stride or at least figuring out who you are after the first quarter of the season, or at least the first half. In football, you don't really start hitting your stride or doing any of those things until really the season's almost over. So if you're already out of the playoff hunt at that time, that sucks for you. Patriots are pretty much out of the playoff hunt, but they are starting to round the corner a little bit and play better. So it's not going to be easy for the Dolphins, but I do expect the Dolphins to win against the Patriots. If you can't take care of business and sweep the division rival Patriots at this juncture, you're worse off than I thought. And we'll see what the Jets do, but they continue to be an epic dumpster fire. And when I'm thinking about not jumping on a bandwagon too early, and when I'm thinking about not getting too far ahead of myself when it comes to the Dolphins winning a couple games against bad teams, I think about Jets fans being somebody who's in that area who, as soon as they beat the Texans on a Texan road trip and pulled something out, all of a sudden they come out. And is that true, Michael K? Because that's just hilarious. Because the Jets, and we could talk a little rival talk here, because I want to talk to the last team I didn't mention yet in the AFC East. We could do a little rival talk, a little AFC East talk. Let's be real. The Jets fired their coach a couple games in. They brought in Devontae Adams a couple weeks in. Now are they firing their GM? It's like at the end of the day, man, at the end of the day, the Jets are a perfect example of a team that gets way too far ahead of themselves as an organization and as a fan base. They thought just because they had some talented rookies and just because they brought in Aaron Rodgers, who's way too old, that they were all of a sudden going to dominate everybody. They were going to be Super Bowl contenders. And you can't just blame Jets fans, right? Because the NFL, the people in charge of making the schedule and making the TV schedules, so the TV executives, they all bought that hype too, because they scheduled the Jets for all these primetime games. And then the Jets completely tank, like they're like an absolute dumpster fire and nothing's clicking. And you kind of look at them like, why'd you get so far ahead of yourselves? Why did you put yourself as a Super Bowl contender when no one was really proven, really? And now it's leading you to make, snap decisions and knee-jerk reactions, and it's making the team even worse. Firing Robert Saleh was a bad decision for the Jets. Firing Robert Saleh was a terrible decision for the New York Jets. They've gotten worse since they fired him. And as they continue to dig themselves a hole, it gets worse and worse. And that's one thing with the Miami Dolphins. They fire Brian Flores. And now Jets fans are talking about hiring Brian Flores because they think he can turn the defense around and he can bring some discipline. And he's doing pretty good as a DC over in Minnesota. But we fire Brian Flores because we want to get a guy who's going to take our quarterback to the promised land. We make all these trades for Bradley Chubb and these other guys. We get ourselves into cap trouble because we're making snap judgments. I don't want to be the type of executive, nor do I want to be the type of fan of the Miami Dolphins that makes those type of mistakes or makes those type of snap judgments the way the New York Jets organization does. That's why you won't find me jumping on the bandwagon after winning 2 games. Does that mean I'm not a good fan? Does that mean I'm a Debbie Downer? Does that mean I'm cynical? No, it just means I'm not going to jump the gun and be irrational and look like a fool if and when it falls apart. Let's take this one game at a time. But I will tell you as of right now, Tua Tagovailoa with that stat line, 28 of 36, 288 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, looking downfield, moving in the pocket much better, is a good improvement for him. And you can't hate on somebody when they're doing something well. You call it out. You give it props. That is what it is. Let's talk about Devon Achane and the revelation that is him. Early in this season, I said that Devon Achane Devon Achane was somebody who you could build around. And somebody wanted to call me out and say, what are you talking about? Achane's a gimmick. Achane is like somebody in the toolkit, a wild card. He's not a constant player. Well, that was wrong. Devon Achane is a very good running back, as I said. He's shifty between the tackles. He hits the holes very well. He's got ridiculous speed. He knows how to catch the ball. Devon Achane on 17 carries went for 73 yards, averaging 4.3 a carry and a touchdown. Let's talk about some things that this front office did well in the offseason, because I spend so much time talking about all the things this team has done terribly in the offseason. The offensive line, I still think could be better. I still think it's a downgrade from what we had last year. However, give props to this offensive line. Give props to this offensive line, especially now with a backup tackle last week. A backup tackle, they're able to run the ball the way they've been running the ball and rely on running the ball, and give props to Mike McDaniel that he's for once understood when to run the ball and when to throw the ball, and seems like he's finally figured out some kind of groove on how to call a game. Again, it's 2 wins. It's 2 wins. I'm not going to start anointing McDaniel some great coach. I'm not going to start anointing this team some great, franchise, or start anointing Chris Greer a great GM. They have tons of problems. I think they botched a lot of things this offseason. I stick by that until they show me otherwise. Get to 500 and Larry K may be singing a different tune, but I will give props where props are due, and it looks like they've done better the last 2 games. Now, how much of that is the fact that their opponents stink? And how much of that is the fact that they've done better? Maybe it's a combination of the two. If we're being fair, it's probably a little bit of a combination of the two. But let me say one other thing about the offseason. If the worst thing they did was let AVG walk, and the second worst thing they did was sign Odell Beckham Jr. to a contract that's really you didn't need. You could have worked River Craycraft into that role. He did just fine. You could have brought in a guy cheaper with less fanfare who would have done just fine. At the end of the day, man, Jonnu Smith, and by the way, I got the receipts. Go back in my channel and check my reaction to the Jonnu Smith signing. Jonnu Smith was a very, very good signing. You want to talk about a third receiver on this team? Don't talk about OBJ. Don't talk about Wilson last year. Don't talk about any of those things. You want to talk about a third receiver and the difference it's made? Look no further than Jonnu Smith. That has probably been one of the biggest, if not the biggest, X factor this season in the games that the Dolphins have won, in the games where the offense has looked good. Jonnu Smith has been the guy who's really taken the reins and made that difference. Tua now has a guy in the middle, a big-bodied guy with talent and speed who he can find and rely on in a pinch, not just the shorter, smaller perimeter guys, but the big man in the middle, Jonnu Smith. That has been the best signing of the offseason when it comes to offense, bar none. Bar none. Now, one last thing I'll talk about, then I'll answer some of the questions I saw in the chat, then I'll bring the guys on. Zach Sealer. Zach Sealer, I got to give him his flowers, because I thought, and it's only common sense, that he benefited a whole heck of a lot from being next to Christian Wilkins. Now, I think he did benefit, and his stat line was maybe a little better when Christian Wilkins was in the lineup, and I loved Christian. I think with the price we're talking about, it would have been harder to keep Christian than to keep AVG. I think they should have kept AVG. But Zach Sealer is balling and making difference-making plays a lot. And so he gets his flowers. And I think another good thing this regime did was retain him early. But that's the thing with this regime. They retained him early, but they didn't retain AVG early enough. They didn't retain Wilkins early enough. They didn't retain a lot of these other guys early enough. And so they find themselves where they are. Now, this team is under 500, okay? They're 4-6, and Michael K already said, I'm down with you as long as the tune is not watch out playoffs, here we come. And right now, that's not my tune. We're 2 games below 500. We got a long way to go for me to be talking about that at all. Not to mention, you've got to ameliorate my concerns with the team late in the season. You've got to alleviate my concerns with the quarterback and coach in clutch games against really good teams before I talk about that. I'm not going to talk about the playoffs with this team until we're 1 game or 2 games away from the playoffs, or we made the playoffs. But I'm just calling out the things that I've seen over this 2-game winning streak that I have liked. There's a lot of improvement to be made. We're 2 games under 500. But I did see a question in here from Cosa Nostra. Who's been more disappointing, Miami or New York, Giants or Jets? I think the Giants were never going to be good, and anybody who really thought they were going to be good are out of their minds. Daniel Jones just doesn't have it. He's never had it. He never will have it. Daniel Jones is now getting benched. Danny Dimes, as the guys around here like to call him, Danny Pennies. He's getting benched for DeVito. Tommy DeVito's coming back. Hopefully his agent is not coming back because that dude was weak. But Tommy DeVito's starting again. They jumped over Locke. I think it's just because the fanfare. Give the fans what they like. The Jersey fans, they love the Giants. They want to root for the hometown kid. They want to root for the Italian kid. Put them in there. Let them have fun. Michael K shouts out Cutlets. I think the Giants never were going to be good. I think they knew they had to move on from the quarterback, whether Daboll stays or not. And by the way, a lot of talk about Daboll coming here. And I warned you about Brian Daboll. I said, don't let Josh Allen get it twisted with Daboll. Don't think that Daboll made Allen, okay? Allen made Daboll, okay? Point blank, period. Daboll's not a bad coach, but Daboll's not that dude. So that was always the Giants were always a waiting game of, are we finally going to move on from this quarterback? And I think now they are. Now, do they tear the whole thing down and swap out the coach, or do they just roll with it? That's what you got to remain to be seen. And I'll tell you, the Giants, unlike the Jets and unlike the Dolphins for the last 20 years, are a winning franchise. You might not think they're good the last 10 years, but they got 2 Super Bowls, 4 in my lifetime, okay? They're a good franchise. They're going to make the right decision. But I don't think they're a disappointment because I don't think the Giants were ever going to be any good, and they ain't any good. The Jets, in their own mind, the Jets are a disappointment because they had Aaron Rodgers. They had all these talented young guys. And in their own mind, and in the fans' own mind, the Jets are a huge disappointment because they really thought they were a Super Bowl contender. They really believe that. In reality, it's a disappointment, but it's not as big a disappointment in reality as it is in the minds of Jet fans because they overinflated their hopes that were never really founded in reality in a lot of ways. They hung their hopes on an injured quarterback who also was already pretty much washed up because he was already old and got ran out of Green Bay because of his attitude issues. So I don't think that the Jets, they are a huge disappointment to everybody, but it depends on in whose mind. Now, the Dolphins are a similar situation, in my personal opinion, because I think the Dolphins took a lot of steps back this offseason, believe it or not. And whether fans wanted to believe it or not, their Dolphins had some serious issues going into the season. They had issues with injury-prone players, issues with an injury-prone quarterback, issues with a head coach / offensive coordinator who had been figured out in a lot of ways. They downgraded a couple spots on the offensive line. I think, OBJ versus Wilson last year, I think it was a slight downgrade just because, just like Rodgers, he's old and he's not the same player he was anymore. I think the defense, putting Jordan Poyer in there for Elliott and those guys, I think was a downgrade. I now am really loving the defensive coordinator switch. I think the defensive coordinator switch was the right move. And I know Fury fan member Phil is going to be happy with me saying that, but he's right. And he was right. I think that was an upgrade, the DC change. I think Tua took steps back early in the season with getting injured and having some really not good games the first 2 games, but has looked better over the last 3 weeks, including, Arizona, and Buffalo is another tough loss. But, I think the Dolphins are a disappointment also a little bit in their fans' heads. I think if the Dolphins can get to 500, that's about where they are. The Dolphins are a bubble playoff team. They're a 500 team. And that's where the expectation should have been for this team, because I don't think they're a Super Bowl contending team this year. I think on paper last year, the Dolphins were a Super Bowl contending team on paper last year. Not in reality, because they showed us they weren't, but on paper last year, especially before the injuries, the Dolphins were a legit contender. This year, I don't think the Dolphins ever were a legit Super Bowl contender. I think they're a bubble playoff team, 500 team. So right now, they are disappointing because they're not at 500. If they get to 500, that's right on par for where they are. If people thought the Dolphins were a Super Bowl contender this year, I think they have a little bit of inflated hope the way Jets fans do, but not quite as bad. Because Jets fans had a great team on paper, a legendary quarterback, but they never realized how many flaws they had, and they are crushed. And I feel bad for them, but they are crushed. Lastly, the Buffalo Bills, man. I was rooting for him. I ain't gonna lie to you. You can call me a fake fan. You can call me all these things. I was rooting for the Buffalo Bills because I wanted the 72 season to keep going. These guys do not have that many years left, sadly, to pop that champagne. Larry Zonko was popping that champagne by himself now because so many guys, God rest their soul, Don Shula, Mercury Morris, all these guys are passing away left and right. And so that parties that they used to have in the 90s and in the 00s, man, they're dwindling. I was rooting for Buffalo to put the nail in the Chiefs' coffin and end that perfect season talk. And quite frankly, the way Josh Allen ran that fourth down play, bro, I can't hate on the man. I'll hate on him all day because I'm a Dolphins fan, but in an objective viewpoint, the way that dude took the ball into his own hands, the coach called his number, he called his own number, the team called his number. It was him and him alone who, with the line blocking, but just ran over guys into the end zone and seals that game. That's a kill. That's a player who puts a team on his back. That's a guy who transcends just throwing the ball. That's a guy who transcends the talent of the position. That's a guy who really makes things happen. So what will be a huge disappointment is if the Buffalo Bills can't get to the Super Bowl this year over the Texans, over the Chiefs, because if it ain't going to happen this year, when is it going to happen for those people, for that team, for that city? That's going to be a disappointment if they're not at least in the AFC Championship, and if they can't get to the dance, that's going to be a disappointment too. Because it's all there for them, and it's been there for them. They got to beat the Chiefs. They beat them before. You got to beat them again. So I'm curious with what happens there. But that wraps up my whole thing. And Mark Greenberg says, let's be realistic. Can we really win with Tua? The answer as of right now is no, because we haven't done it, bro. We have not beaten a winning team at the end of the season in cold weather for a pivotal matchup to get us into the playoffs. We have not done it yet. So as of right now, we can't. But I'm seeing good signs from Tua. I'm seeing things I like from Tua. So can he prove me wrong and cash that receipt he has on me? He can. Do I hope he does? Hell yeah, I hope he does. I hope he cashes on it. I hope he dunks on me. I hope he becomes the best quarterback in Miami Dolphins history, second to Dan or second to none or third to Greasy or whatever. Right now, I don't believe it. I hope he makes me a believer. I'm just saying the dude had a couple good games, okay? And let's own the fact that he had a couple good games. Let's own the fact that Mike McDaniel called a couple good games. We had 271 passing yards. We outrushed the Raiders. It ain't a huge feat, but let's enjoy it and let's keep rolling. That being said, let's bring these dudes on. Let's first done because I haven't posted his rant yet, and he's having a little trouble these days. So I'm gonna give the floor first to G and let G tell us, what his thoughts were on this game, what his thoughts are for this season, and then Shake's got a whole bunch of stuff for us before we start getting ponderous and philosophical with Lucci. So let's, with that order in mind, G, what are your thoughts, sir?
Well, I just want to start off by saying, since you want to bring up the Giants, I mean, I can't believe that the GM's son called it and he still didn't do it. I think we should allow his son to be taken over as the GM. We should allow me to be a GM. I think we should allow our youngins to get a GM because I think we know more than the people that are put in charge. But that's a different story for another day. The Dolphins had me worried a little bit. After half, I was a little worried. I thought the Raiders were going to come down the field and score, but, the Raiders suck. The Raiders suck. That wasn't going to happen. I think Tua played a good game. Mike McGee caught a great play call game. The one compliment or one thing that Tua upset me with, it's been 5 years and he's just he's got to get rid of the ball. I mean, I like what he's doing, running around the pocket, trying to hit the open guy, but sometimes if it ain't there, throw it away. I mean, that opening drive, it wasn't there, and he took a sack, and he almost fumbled it. We almost lost it. There was one play by the end zone. He could have just thrown it over someone's head, but, it's a win, it's a win, it's a win. The defense is legit, I think. I don't know. Maybe I'm overhyping the defense.
They look good.
Anthony Weaver's doing a good job. I feel like, though, the one thing our defense sucked in, we couldn't let the white ninja Brock Bowers, the Swiss Army knife from Georgia, we couldn't stop him all game. I mean, we can't cover a tight end in Miami for some reason. All the years with Rob Gronkowski, we could never cover him. I mean, we don't cover tight ends. We're like me playing Madden out there. I can't cover tight ends either. So maybe it's just a Miami Dolphin thing. But, a win is a win is a win. I'm not going to lie. I'm a little bit worried about the Patriot game this coming week. Patriot fans are really loving Drake May. They think he's going to be a star, but the Patriots have no receiver. They have no line. Their defense is really good. And keep in mind, we played Jacoby Brissett early in the year. We never started Drake May. I'm a little worried, but it's Miami. I think we can get the win, get the 5-6, and then Thanksgiving night. It's going to be a big one.
That's huge. I'm excited, man. I go with my baked ziti and my shrimp and my supersat.
Oh,
I can't wait. My stuffed provolone and pepperoni bread, make it homemade, is banging. Thanksgiving. I want that to go along.
I hope we win this game. So on Thursday night, when I'm eating my pumpkin pie, I'm at least watching a competitive football game.
Agreed.
And now, real quick, before we get to the good, the bad, and ugly, I just want to touch on 2 points that you made. Because we like to.
Well, first, let me introduce you properly, bro. What's
Morning,
going on?
Your Majesty. It is another beautiful day in Zamunda.
It is another beautiful day in Zamunda. Hey, listen, I got my beverage. I'm enjoying it. I'm finishing the last of the churro.
I love it. So what's up, bro? What's on your mind?
Okay, so let's start with Christian Wilkins. I think, in my opinion, my humble opinion, I think Christian Wilkins got the stats because of Zach Seiler, not the other way around. Because he's been playing with Max Crosby and he wasn't putting nowhere near the numbers.
Yeah, I forgot he was even over
That's
there.
just my humble opinion.
Yeah, I love him, but I'm just.
Is Christian Wilkins still? Is he injured still?
Yeah, he's injured.
He is, right?
Okay, so what are you talking about? Yeah,
before he got injured,
that was a side shot at me. I caught them strays over here, my guy, and he was putting up numbers, and he built his numbers every year before Sealer got here.
That one sack this year, bro.
Get out of here with that. I want to say he broke the tackle record at his position before Sealer got there. So miss me with that.
Sealer was there his rookie year. What are you talking about?
Those were shots at me.
Wait, Sealer was there his rookie year?
I'll return fire when it's my turn. God bless you. Go ahead.
Wait.
But he's injured right now, so that ain't a fair assessment. Don't talk about what he's doing with Max Crosby when he ain't played in like 6 weeks.
Yeah, but in the few games he did.
A few games. It's a whole new system. Everybody, hold up. But go ahead, do your.
All right. So finish, and then let him.
Go ahead, Lucci. Go ahead, continue.
No, go ahead, Shake, because let him return fire when it's his segment, just so we keep it organized.
All right, and the one last thing I'm going to say is I don't agree that this defensive coordinator is an upgrade. Maybe he's an upgrade to the pansies that couldn't take hard coaching. He's probably an upgrade because he was right about Cam Smith, and last I checked, even though they necessarily don't like him, but they're in the top 5 of scoring defenses in the NFL. So he's putting up results. At the end of the day, you don't have to like your boss, but if your boss yields results, it's not an upgrade.
Well, I agree with you that Fangio, they were soft with Fangio, but do you think Weaver's doing a bad job?
Who's that, Fangio?
No, our guy.
No, I think he's doing a good job, but given what he has, but Fangio with less was yielding results. Is what I'm saying.
Do you think he had less though? And I'm honestly asking.
Yeah, I do think he had less. Remember they in that game against Kansas City, they were getting guys off the streets.
At that point, yes. Yeah, and they were so yes, overall the roster, I think last year's roster might have started off better in my opinion, but by the end, you're right. He had nobody. And I thought the defense was pretty good at the end.
I think he's doing a good job, but I think Vic Fangio did a better job. And again, he's an upgrade to those guys that he's being mean to me. But again, he was right about Cam Smith. He's not on the field. You know what I'm saying? He was right about Channing Tindall and everybody that he was not playing because he had a personal axe against him. This new coach ain't putting him out there either. So
I get it. So not necessarily an upgrade. He's doing all right. He's doing a good job, but Fangio, it's not necessarily an upgrade.
He ain't have the same roster, Jordan. So I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
I got you. I hear you. I hear you, bro. I get it. I get those points. I do. That makes sense. And I'll let Lucci respond to the Wilkins thing when it's his turn. But before we do any of that, bro, we gotta talk, man.
The good. The bad. the ugly.
What you got for us, bro?
So we have some memes.
Oh, you got memes first.
Of course, we won 2 in a row.
Yes.
And, Tua's playing. Finally, we're starting to implement the tight end.
Bro, it's beautiful, Shake.
Yeah. Finally, what we wanted, Mike McDaniel is holding the people accountable. So Mostert isn't running the ball like normal because, he isn't doing well.
Mm-hmm.
And also, again, we're milking the clock. We're not scoring. Look, I think if you scoring fast is just as bad as a 3-and-out because the defense is constantly on that field.
Yes.
And we're not worrying about the defense, so they could get a lot more rest.
I want to drill down on that point too, Shake, about accountability. I think you were the one who said a couple weeks ago when I was mad about that. You said, hey, I think he is starting to hold them accountable. I think you're right, bro. A different Mike McDaniel in some ways that we're seeing.
Yeah. Which I'm happy to see that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to give him his props when, All right, the bad. Let me see. The bad is we still have the drops. We had Tua hit
one by Waddle.
Yeah. And I think that I think that I think Tua needs to do a little bit more as far as the pre-snap penalty, moving, taking more charge of this offense and say, hey, look, this doesn't work, But other than that, man, they have been. One thing I do like is he's not running on first down. He used to run on first down all the time, but now he's mixing it up with pass and run.
I've noticed that, bro. I think it's been better play calling overall. I'm not anointing the guy, but let's keep it real.
Nobody is
better, bro. Yeah,
nobody is. Yeah. And the ugly, of course, this guy right here, Michael K.
So that's enough said. NUFF said. That's it.
Yeah, no. The ugly. I can tell you what the ugly. It's not football related. It's that freaking fight that happened Friday night. That's ugly. Holy crap.
That's brutal. Now, but the undercard was pretty good. But that fight was
Yeah. By the way, I got some memes about it. So let's
see. Let's just get them.
By the way, this one's because I called Michael K ugly. So don't say this one's just for Michael K. Look, here you go.
Oh, he was out, bro. He was
Kansas City thought he was gonna come after Buffalo, but Buffalo came in. No, not today.
Yes.
Him and Ward have been pretty good.
Oh man. By the way, here we go.
Update, bro. We could be screwed. And I have 2 Cunninghams, bro.
What? Let me see. Yes, that's it. Yes. Yes. Netflix has got, oh man, that was crazy. I was in a bar, bro, and it just started buffering. Like, what the hell?
1.2.
Yes.
1.2.
Yes.
Oh man.
Bro. Jesus.
And here's the last one.
He won't skyrocket.
Poor George Foreman. Got that grill, that Foreman grill, bro. That's brutal.
Oh man.
And I just want to shout out Jordan Asel, man. Take your stuff and go then, bro. Listen, I am relevant. You feel me? Larry K, Fury fan, we are relevant as it is, my bro. You don't get to 2.5 thousand subscribers in your part-time when you're hustling 3 other podcasts, doing music, working Jordan, as an attorney during the day with all your boys. I
appreciate
in Florida. You're a clown, bro.
Peace.
Yeah, see you later. I don't know what you're talking about, my bro.
This ain't an airport. You don't have to you don't need to announce your departure.
Yeah.
I forgot to touch on this, but Chris Greer might be right, guys. I think we owe Chris Greer an apology. I think we were indeed too much worried about the O-line because the way the O-line's playing, we're playing really good on there.
Yeah, no, the O-line is playing much better, which was what I was saying. Like, it takes time for them to develop. Look, I still think the line we started off with last year was just on paper better, but this line has done much better than I expected as the season has worn on. So it's been good stuff. It's been good stuff. So now with that all said, let's cede the floor to Lucci. I know he wants to respond to the Christian Wilkins point, and if we're gonna debate it, we're gonna debate it nicely. I also want to hear his thoughts in general on the squad, the win, the season, everything going on, bro. What's your feelings and thoughts right now?
First, I went on a smoke break. I was watching on my phone, but maybe we got to address Jordan over here and see what he's talking about. Larry K, sorry, but you want to be relevant. Please get better people who actually know what they are talking about. You don't hear this rubbish Fins fans from TD Fins talk, or he said doubly do wrong. You ain't even saying Dudley, so you're disrespecting my guy. You don't even know what you're talking about, and you could be out, and hopefully you're out before you hear this. But the truth of the matter is, this is exactly what you hear on TD Fins talk. I don't know what you watch, but TD is the only other objective channel that I've seen. Dudley, I watched him back in the day, but I don't keep up with him as much. But 100%, TD definitely cooks Tua and all you Tuaneers and everybody else who gives the Jim Carrey from.
I got it.
Put it up, Larry. Go ahead, because this is who Jordan is. TD 100% is cooking all you guys that look like that. Might as well be Jordan the Cell, who that guy right there. I don't know what TD you watch. TD is constantly cooking on the facts, and that's all we do over here. So I don't know what you're talking about. Please get better people. So. Like my guy Larry said, go ahead and start your channel and let's see what you're talking about, cool guy. And it's always the guys, man. And I've always said always the guys that have the fake picture up there that got the most to say. Never a guy that has the face with the real name like this. See, that's my government right there.
Yes.
That'll say what they want to say and stand on it. It's always you guys with the fake profile picture that got the most to say. So anyways, enjoy the rest of your night. You know what is Larry's channel. My thoughts and views don't reflect his.
It's all good, bro.
We leave it at that. But anyways, I don't know what TD you watch, but you get the same stuff over here you get over there, just with a different thing. I know it is Larry K. I mean that's just a proof. I was just talking to Shakes and the TD ain't cooking nothing. Bentley, my guy. So you might as well go ahead and tune in to Jordan the Cells channel, because TD 100% is cooking all the time. That's just my personal opinion, and that's most of our opinion over here. You know what I mean? And he's the kind of guy that'll bring on a guy like Larry or Shake, and big up them and help them build their channel. And people get a lot of stuff, and it's a select few, man. But it's okay. If you guys were in the Batman movie, with Bane, you would have been the police that hid in the house when the commissioner went and told him, "What are you doing? We got to fight the fight." And he said, "We've already lost the fight. I have to worry about," and hide and close the door while the rest of the guys go out on the street and fight the good fight. You'd be the guy hiding in the house. You and my guy, what's his name? I already forgot because he's irrelevant. Jordan. And don't ever disrespect Jordan, the name like that, with a lame ass comment like that. Get out of here.
Anyway, bro. So I love that, by the way.
Get out of here.
Until further notice, knock off the nonsense, please. What happened? What happened? Until further notice, knock off the nonsense, please. Anyway, all right, go ahead.
All right, sorry. All right. Tuas is the biggest factor to our success. All right, I'm gonna get caught up in the comments.
Well, we'll deal with that.
First, let me just address my brother Shakes with the Christian Wilkins shot. My guy didn't really have a whole bunch of time, man, over there to do what he had to do, for everybody to fall in line and for things to gel. Very rarely do you get somebody, man. I don't care how often do you see somebody that's that great and go somewhere and make. I'll give you a Tyreek Hill came to us and made an immediate impact. But this is a guy that literally just has his thing to do. I'm going to run up that field and you just throw that ball over there and I'm going to catch it and I'm going to make it happen after the play. When it comes to the defensive line, there's a little bit more that's involved with that. It's not necessarily, I could tie up 2-3 guys, but you still got to do what you do. Mm-hmm. Zach Sealer, what position does he play?
D tackle.
He plays the same position as Christian Wilkins, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so there's only so many guys that could line up. Hold up. There's only so many guys that could line up across from them guys that Wilkins could tie up for things to happen. Now, I'll say this, admittedly, I said that, and I stand on that. Zach Sealer has proven me wrong. He really does still make noise without Christian Wilkins being there. However, what position does Calais Campbell play?
D tackle.
Okay, now we got a guy over there who's making noise, who in my personal opinion is the MVP of our team, offense, defense, bar none. He's the best. Okay, what position does Crosby play?
The end.
Okay, it's a totally different position. So it's apples to oranges. Saying now, I admit when you got a beast up there that's doing things like that, it can help the ends to an extent. It can. If you're tying up two guys every play, sometimes three, then maybe a running back that would normally go to help block, he might have to, come over here to help what Wilkins is disrupting, but it's still different. When you got two guys in the middle, there's only so many guys there to block. So I'm not buying that for one. And for two, Calais Campbell is here. He is a beast. And he knows because he's a Jacksonville Jaguars fan. So he knows because he was over there for a majority of his years. But he still has help there this year. Now, he still is playing up to par. So I'm not saying that he's getting carried by, but I'm saying he's had favorable help next to him every time he's lined up as a Miami Dolphin.
Okay.
That's just the proof. Now, Max Crosby, you're throwing that out there. My guy hasn't even really had a chance to get over there and get lined up. And then on top of that, look who we got coaching over there. Everybody was hyped for him. He looked good. Sometimes it happens like that. Everybody in a Dan Campbell. I wanted to keep Campbell when he came in and he stepped in as a head coach, And some were like, oh, he doesn't really have much experience, whatever. It was the energy he brought. And when that speech that got leaked, not leaked, maybe it was mic'd up or whatever. And he's like, listen, guy, you got to block for him, man. That's your guy. And you got to. And then he made the play. He's like, that's what I'm talking about. You could see that he was really good at coaching. And he's spitting his spit all over the microphone and wiping it off with his shirt. And he's all excited. And look what he's doing. But what's his name from the Giants? I can't even think of his name right now. I've had a couple of drinks. And maybe he ain't that guy. I'm sorry. When he came in, sometimes the culture changed and people get hype and but then if you don't got nothing after the hype talk to back it up, then maybe it don't work out. So, and my guy's been injured. So it's not even a fair assessment to say, oh, I'd like to say that, look what he's doing with Max Crosby. Yo, they had maybe 2-3 games, if that. So that ain't a fair assessment. Shout out to Christian Wilkins. I'm still sad you're gone, and it was a mistake, just like AVG.
Well, I definitely say too. I say that's a good point about Campbell being so damn good. Like, what do you say to that, Shake? But make your points. I'm just gonna shout out when dudes
I'll make my points. Well, actually, Christian Wilkins played a defensive tackle on the nickel and dime packages, but on the in the base package, they ran a 3-4, and he was a defensive end.
True.
So they were also they weren't also side by side at times. And secondly, look,
when he did play defensive end, he drew guys over there. The eyes were always on Wilkins,
Yeah, but
when you're in a 3-4, it's different too because you don't draw as much because there's not 4 dudes on the line. It's more everybody on the inside. But go ahead, Shake.
No, but what I said, I didn't take that one shot at Christian Wilkins. All I said was, in my opinion, Christian Wilkins, because I take that as a slander as fine. I take that as a slander at Zach Seiler. I think it was more beneficial. I think Christian Wilkins benefited more off of Zach Seiler than the other way around. That's all I said. I didn't say Christian Wilkins was trash. I didn't say goodbye, Christian Wilkins. That's all I said.
You definitely said he was trash, and you definitely said goodbye. You said he was never good at anything but grabbing nuts. I believe was your quote. I could be wrong.
Joking around, but on the record, trash. I just didn't say he was worth $30 million.
But this is my thing.
I think that's what did it, Shake. It was too much money. The team probably should have offered him before it got out of hand. Because
the one thing I agree, Shakes was 100% correct on, and as much as it hurts me to say it, we should have traded him and got a really good return on investment before we just let him walk. Is my, Shake was right when he said that. But the only thing I say that Wilkins, I'm not saying he didn't, because now I see he still plays, and maybe Calais Campbell, a guy who's 38 years old, who has showed up and represented everywhere else he's been in his career, is benefiting at his age, which, I mean, to me, he's out there almost blocked the punt. I mean, it's just, to me, it doesn't look like he's slowing down at 38. This guy's a freak of nature.
Why does he keep doing that?
But having said that,
not bad.
I feel like
Are we just messing up? It's like, why my face keeps going on the
Wilkins was 100%. His stats got bigger every year. He did better every year. He was building every year before Siler got there. And who was next to him then? So, and maybe Siler showed up and it did, and they did benefit off of each other. But Wilkins definitely didn't just improve because Siler was there, is my whole point. He was improving every year before he got there. And he might have had that tackle record at his possession or his position before Siler got there. Maybe Siler was there, maybe he wasn't. I don't know. I can't recall right now. But
probably mutually benefited too. I mean, they're both good.
It's of course, when you get a guy that's good next to you, you're going to mutually benefit 100%. But saying that Wilkins, who we saw get better every single year, progressed every year in tackles and sacks and whatever, and to say that Sealer showed up and it made him better, to me, I'm sure he benefited from being there.
Siler came in his rookie year, so it's not like he just came in halfway to Christian Wilkins' year. They were here. Siler came here, was signed by Brian Flores off the waiver wires in 2019, which was Christian Wilkins' rookie year. So they were here together for a long time. So that's like saying the kicker of the egg.
Where was Siler at that whole time? Because I don't remember hearing his name called at all. So he must have been.
As a matter of fact, when we acquired Zach Siler, that's when we started winning games in December.
Because they did little pieces on him because he was living in the trailer or whatever. So he was kind of in his that first year, like he percolated, and then he was real good towards the end. Like
and he has
he's
a business
pretty
in
constant.
Florida.
That man, like that's why I gave him his flowers in the beginning, in the opening monologue. Like the dude has been playing good. By the way, if you're in here right now, we got people listening. Click that subscribe button, man. It's right here. I'm gonna wait while you click it. Even you, Jordan, you click it.
Jordan,
watch his channel.
Yeah, Jordan, you bum.
Bentley, you too, Bentley. Go ahead and hold on. He might have said something good about Wilkins, and I might have to apologize to Bentley.
Listen to
no, our defense is quite good without Wilkins, anyways. Okay, there you go. But you know what? I can't be mad at him for that. Listen, we got lucky, and we replaced Christian Wilkins with Calais Campbell.
And thank you for your subscription, Bentley. I can't see who's a subscriber or not on here. Neither can Lucci. I've seen you in here before, but thank you for being a long-term subscriber.
Bentley's right though. Listen, our defense is doing good, but I'm gonna say this,
Thanks, brother.
Let me say this, Bentley. You have to admit, Calais Campbell coming filled that gap, and he's done a tremendous job at doing that. And me, admittedly, was like, Jesus, we got another old guy. Like this really is Miami is a retirement. I grew up down there. I live in Florida. This is where people come to retire. I was like, here we go. We got another guy coming down here to retire because that's what we do in Miami. We sign old players, expecting like Beckham. Much as I'd hate to say, I mean, he's had a couple of catches past few games, but really, Odell Beckham, what are we doing? We bring guys down here to retire. And I thought Calais Campbell would.
It was 2020 we signed him. Like 20.
He signed, but we claimed him off the waiver wire. So
that's crazy, bro. I didn't even know that. So
we claimed him off the waiver wire in 2019.
Wow.
Who are we talking about?
Zach Siler.
Oh, Zach Siler. Yeah, okay.
We claimed him off the waiver wire in 19. But
he don't play like it, Bentley. Yo, it's shocking. And I really thought, like, man, maybe he'll be good. You know, he's a 1 or 2 down guy. We put him in a pressure situation. This guy came, he's really our MVP. I can't think of nobody better to say.
That's true that.
And really, that penalty that was called on him this past Sunday is crazy to me. Like, that shouldn't be called running into the punter. When you're diving in the air from that far away, when you're that close to blocking, and the kicker kicks your helmet, like that shouldn't be. Come on, man. It's not blatant.
That was tough, bro.
It's incidental contact, and that should be waved off. They got to fix that, man.
But that's why, you know what? That's part of the game because I saw like even Calais was like shaking his head and they were like, yo, whatever, because running into the kicker, it's incidental, basically 5 yards trying to protect him. But if he had blocked that, would have been moot. And he almost did.
All I know is what's that kick that Daniel Karate Kid? What's it called?
Which one?
The crane kick. Yeah, the punter
kick.
literally crane kicked Calais Campbell and he got penalty for it.
He got the penalty. And listen, allegedly that was an illegal kick in the tournament. So my guy Johnny was he should have won that tournament. Anyways, it's like kind of an incentive not to try to block the punt when you get calls like that. It's kind of lame.
Michael K knows what I'm talking about.
What are you gonna do? But yeah, we also got a tight end Smith. This all season.
Yeah, Smith was.
He was.
Smith and Campbell were the best signings. And it's
Larry spoke on that earlier. Jonnu Smith has really been, and when Tua wasn't playing, Smith was making catches. He was one of the few guys because we all know Hill and Waddle weren't getting any catches. Smith was the one making them catches and keeping us in the game. Anybody who thinks New England has a chance this week is crazy. We're blowing them out the water. I think this is going to be our first signature win. I would say the Raiders, was a because I was thinking about that this weekend. I was talking to my son, and I'm like, yo, we haven't had a signature win this year. We're like, we really, do what we got to do. But I think this week will be that. It's a division opponent, and we got 2 wins, and that 34 whatever looks good, but. It's the 2-7. I think they're poorly coached. I think they're a mess right now. Who do they got? Boyer's their only guy. Thanksgiving is the real test, Bentley. Me and Larry were talking about that backstage.
Right, bro.
Yeah, we agree with you on that.
And you know what's a shame is even though I have my doubts about Tua and I have my doubts about this team, if Tua didn't get hurt for that 4-game stretch, I don't think we'd be lighting the world on fire because he was struggling before he even went out. But I think we would have had a little bit of a better record than we do. 100%. And it would have put us in a better position. It's just frustrating.
Without a doubt, we'd have been doing better.
Actually, if Tua was not injured, I would have enjoyed that trip to Indy.
Yeah,
bro. No, seriously though.
Yeah, that's right, Shake. Like you planned that trip before the season, right?
Yeah, he's undefeated against the Patriots. That's right. Even when Belichick was there, Bentley. So it's not fluke. And I feel like we blow the doors off New England this week.
I hope. I hate saying blow up because every time I say we blow them out, we always somehow in a position to lose.
We'll blow them out.
Rams were going
only time we struggle with them is
the Rams are not that good, bro.
Nah, the Rams. But the Rams are one of the teams though that aren't terrible either. They fight you all the way to the end.
No, but we got
maybe they've been blown out twice this season. They fought every time.
That's good, like a winning team.
Actually,
a winning team.
I know the Rams are winning now.
But hold up, my guy Jordan came back. What's he got to say?
If we beat Green Bay,
okay, Jordan. See, now hold up. Now you're agreeing with what I said. We're looking for a signature win, but you said we got to get better people up here. Jordan, let me ask you, brother. Are you subscribed to the channel? Be honest. I know you had some stuff to say earlier, but be honest. Are you subscribed to the channel? Because let me put my Dolphins hat on so you can tell the truth. If you're not subscribed, you need to subscribe. I know you might have had some different feelings earlier, man, but go ahead and subscribe.
Yeah,
and then maybe. Oh, see what are you doing? You're out. You gotta become a member. It costs less than a cup of coffee. Send me your Zelle, and I'll Zelle you, and I'll pay for your first month to become a member.
There you go.
Because see, you got something good to say. You bring good stuff to the table. That other shit you said earlier, part of my language, was a little bit left field and it was way off base. That's something you got good to say. If we beat Green Bay, I agree. That's 100%.
Bro, I want to get to that point. It's Thanksgiving. It'll get us to 500. For us fans out there, bro, whatever happens to the rest of the season, it would be real nice to beat Green Bay, have that to hang our hat on, have a full team effort with offense and defense clicking at the same time on a holiday with all of us watching with our families and all that. To get to 500 and basically start a new season at that point from scratch, 500 would be absolutely great. Then really only the tests we have are San Francisco and Houston down the stretch. Yeah. I mean, the Jets are a rival, but we've owned them for the last several
seasons. The Jets are trash, bro. We're whooping the Jets.
Worse.
Anybody who thinks the Jets, I know they're our rival, and everybody on here that really been watching since I came, Jets is my most hated team. Yo, that's 2 easy wins, bro.
Yes,
Hey,
they are
Easy
Worried about
wins.
the Jets. I'm not gonna lie. I'm worried about everyone we face.
What do you mean? We're
See, that's
starting to get on the up and up. Listen,
That's the one good thing about the Thanksgiving game is that at least I'll have my dinner over with.
Yes.
Yeah, bro. I like it late. Yeah.
what time do we play? We play late. Oh
8:20.
man.
8:30.
20.
Oh, see, I gotta stay awake. It's the Packers. Let's see what we do. If we lose to New England, I probably won't stay awake to watch.
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
Lose
man,
to
listen.
England
Sorry, the Green Bay game. I ain't gonna lie.
What's crazy is I don't know.
I don't see that happening.
For the last 2 holidays,
They're worse than the Jags, Brian.
my wife is from Wisconsin, so
Mhm.
I
God
watched us.
Bless her
Us lose Christmas Day with my wife. And then now I got.
Is she a Green Bay fan?
Well, she roots for them. She's not really a football fan, but I buy her Green Bay stuff.
The home team.
Okay, so damn, bro.
What are you gonna do?
She's not really, like I
that's
said,
tough.
she's not really football. She only watches football for me, but I do buy her Green Bay stuff because she loves,
Bro,
she loves representing Wisconsin. So,
Yo, somebody pull up the Green Bay stats with us. Let's talk about that matchup, like historically, because I'm trying to
Yeah,
think.
I'm with you.
I'm thinking
Right.
of the Philbin game where we beat them. We were like 3-0. We started. Then I'm thinking of some losses.
Oh, the Green Bay game, Aaron Rodgers extending plays. Listen, I'm telling you, I was watching that game. Well, I won't say where I was watching it, but Aaron Rodgers extending plays. This has haunted us. I don't care who our coach, who the players are. Quarterbacks that can extend plays has killed us.
Yeah.
As far back as I can remember. And Aaron Rodgers specifically, that game, that's what, because it was a real nail biter, that game, you know.
Yeah,
by the way,
remember.
It wasn't Thanksgiving, it was a regular season game.
that way, listen,
What's wrong with it?
I'll buy my wife Bills gears
Better than
once
Green
I
Bay.
divorce her. That way, I don't have to ever like her again. I won't like her again.
Damn, that's cold.
For a divorce present, he'll give her
Yeah,
bills. gear so
divorce
she never
present.
looks.
Yeah, that's real though.
Yeah,
If
where
she
it is,
starts
so I
knocking
don't-
the bills, we might have
Every
to.
time I see you, I
We might
I'll
have
be
to
like,
cross
I don't
that.
like you anymore.
Larry, do you do divorces,
over
Larry?
her.
Is
No
that
issue.
is that in your practice? No, not yet. Might have to get into it if she
Not
starts
yet.
doing bill stuff.
Not yet. I'll sort out everybody's bills gear in my divorce agreements and everybody's Jets gear or whatever else. But yeah, I'm curious. I mean, that's a way too, right? We got to go to Green Bay or what?
Yep.
Yeah. It's gonna be cold, bro. How cold's it gonna be?
Hey, man.
CB83, what's up, brother?
Bro, and that's why at the end of the day, bro, like what Jordan said, it makes sense. Like that is why that would be a signature game, because at the end of the day, it's going to be cold. It's going to be late in the year. It's going to be a pivotal game, a clutch game that gets us to 500, that keeps us in the playoff hunt. So it's going to be everything. You win that game, and that
Michael
really
K
is.
says mid-30s.
Yeah, see,
Nico says
mid-30s.
24 degrees.
Thank
Same
you.
thing.
Yeah,
24 degrees, 30. By then, who cares?
Yeah, it's cold.
If the wind ain't blowing, that's really not that bad.
Yeah.
If Tua wins this game, he'll kill 5 narratives. Number 1, we can't win cold weather.
Oh,
Number
okay.
2, we can't win prime time.
30 degrees
Number
ain't
3,
really
we
cold
can't
weather.
win on a winning team. We can't beat a winning team, and on the road at less. And number 4, he can't beat a team when it's on the line. So those are 5 narratives. He'll be killing.
Well, I mean, if we're doing that, then every game moving
From here
forward
on out.
can't be the team when it's on the line.
Yeah.
Now,
But I'm just saying though, that's it's on.
I'm with you. I'm with you on that. Can't beat a good team when it's on the line. He beats Green Bay. If he goes into Green Bay and pulls a Michael Vick, and you know, even though it ain't the frozen tundra like when Vic played, but still that really will be a signature win. And you know what? We're talking about signature wins, Jordan. I've been looking for that signature win from Tua since he's been here. Late in the season. I'm not talking about that September we beat Buffalo where Buffalo just had a monumental collapse. Let's call it what it is. We beat Baltimore in September and they had a monumental collapse. We're not talking. I'm talking about a signature win when it's all on the line. It's later in the season and we're playing and we need these wins. I had never seen Tua get a signature win like that. From Flo all the way to Mike McDaniel, I haven't seen Tua get that win. And if you know about one, anybody in the chat, go ahead and let me know about it. because I missed that game. So if he gets this Green Bay game on Thanksgiving, the big stage, the lights, like Larry said, will get us above 500 and really get that train going, I'll co-sign. I'm not going for cold weather. 30 degrees ain't nothing. I'm a South Florida guy. 30 degrees really ain't that bad. And when you're running and pumping and you're on the sideline with a thick jacket, you're never getting cold in 30-degree weather.
If there's no wind chill, it ain't that bad. Get
out of here.
If
it's 30 degrees with a wind chill makes it 20, then maybe. But
hey, let me introduce this next guest. Oh,
all right, bring Crypto.
What's going on, my man? This is my co-host.
We never beat the Ravens. Hold up, let me shut down Bentley. The Ravens was mad early in the season. It wasn't like that. When we played the Ravens last year, when we had a 5-game lead in the division with 6 games left, and we played the Ravens, we got smoked. So miss me with the Ravens talk, Bentley.
Yeah, that was a crucial game. I think I was at that game. It was in the 50s. It was in the 50s in that game.
Hey, by the way, hey, listen, Michael K. We know you wear Crocs. By the way, these are his Crocs. Take that comment.
Yeah. And the Cowboys, the Cowboys fumbled on the goal line. There was a lot of help with that.
But it was a good win. But yes, the Cowboys.
It was a good win. Tua played mad mediocre. It wasn't like
the Cowboys
didn't lose us that game. I'll give you that. Tua didn't lose us that game. But it wasn't like Tua went out there and balled out. I'm looking for a signature. Tua put a stamp on this game when we needed him to. And I wouldn't give that Cowboys game to him. I'd give it more to the Cowboys blunder.
Yeah, listen, I agree with
and to our kicker kicking like 8 field goals that game. One from 50,
3
one
field
from
goals
80.
over 50.
Yeah, there wasn't a
3 over 50
stamp on that win. So I'm not giving him that Cowboys.
Listen, Crypto was right. If we had Devontae Parker, we would have smoked the Cowboys.
Oh, here we go.
Oh my God. Here comes the blasphemy. Here we go.
So
I haven't even started driving yet.
Jordan says low 35, high 50. So it could vary, bro. It could be 42, 38 for all we know.
See, Jordan, that ain't bad. We're not doing the cold. We're not giving him the cold cut. Sorry. We don't get the cold. Yeah, we don't get the cold cut.
Unless it's a lot of snow and wind, then yeah. Brutal weather affects our speed. It neutralizes us.
No, the Ravens game was epic. I ain't going to take it away. I'm just saying at the end of the season.
100%. I agree. In that Buffalo game, too.
Yeah.
I don't care if the team collapses if you don't capitalize. And Tua don't make them perfect throws when you needed them to.
But the end of the season still a question, bro.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not taking away from 2 of them games.
But playoffs on the line.
Yes, when there's contingency attached to the game. And you could be that guy that says, well, every game counts. Man, miss me with that. It's not the same.
It's not weighted equally.
When everything, when the pressure, when you know we need this game, That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, no, I
got Raphael right gets it. DVP was the Dolphins all-time MVP.
Devontae Parker, God bless him. If he didn't have the ankle injury, who knows what he could have been.
He would be sweeping.
The Titan game was epic. Thank you, Tua. Michael K. The Titans game was epic. Get out of here.
He'd be sweeping floors at McDonald's. That's what he'd be doing.
No, he'd be in Miami right now. We'd be sweeping the Bills. That's what. Yeah, we'll be sweeping the Bills.
He'd be sweeping floors. That's what he'd be doing.
No, we'll be sweeping the
Bills. God bless him. He comes over here, supports. He subscribes. He does all that.
Michael K. Who was that? Michael K. Who?
Hey, don't make me fly out. Hey, listen, don't make me fly. Listen, I heard Spirit Airline is filed for bankruptcy, so I might get a good cheap ticket to Baltimore. Don't make me fly out to Baltimore and deal with you with this
Baltimore
slander.
CBA decree. This is what I'm hoping for.
Are they cheap now?
Let's get the Tua redemption.
Everybody wants the Tua redemption story.
Everybody's flying Spirit now.
This would be the season. He went out. He got hurt. We sucked when he was gone. He was playing bad before he went out, and then he comes back, and we just go on a tear. This really would be to shut people like me, Larry, anybody else who says that we really don't think that we could. This would be the year.
Yes.
So I hope it happens.
Yes. I was thinking that earlier.
Make me come on here and say I was wrong, because just like I said about Zach Sealer earlier, because I used to ride Shake all last year and said he rode on Wilkins' coattail, but he's playing the same this year. I said I was wrong about him. I'll say it. I don't have no problem.
Yeah, and shout out to Joe, another Fury fan member in the building, bro. Thanks for your support.
He didn't even
Remember,
play
guys,
yesterday, did he?
become a member of Fury Fam, click the join button, man.
How
and
much does it
become a
cost,
member.
Larry, to become a member?
It's like $199, $299, and then the
Less
exec
than a
table,
cup of coffee is the right answer, my guy.
Yeah, that is cheap. That's the bonus. My bad, bro. Less than a cup of coffee. But look,
Hey, CB, why don't you come on, CB?
at the end of the day,
A
man,
little bit, man.
like what
He said
Lucci's
less than a
saying is
cup.
true, bro. I was just thinking about that earlier today.
I
This
haven't
is
heard
the
from my man
season.
CB3. Why don't you come up and click the link, my brother?
This is the season where you're low, you're struggling, you need the quarterback to step up and do something and have a turnaround and bring us across the finish line in a place where it would have been hard to do it, and we really need a star player to get us there. This is the season to do it. The schedule lays out. Everything lays out for him. He's coming off the injury. He's been playing better. This is the Cinderella story, and prove us wrong, man. I would love it. I would love to say I've been wrong because I'm a Dolphins fan. I want him to do that. I want that so bad, bro. Listen, even I'm guilty. I'll get up on here and be objective because that's what I do, because I don't want to give you guys any nonsense. I want to keep it 100% because you subscribe to me, you tune in because you want that. But I've caught myself daydreaming like, yo, imagine if we just turned it on, had one of those crazy end of the seasons and made a run deep into the playoffs, bro. Everybody wants that when they're a Dolphins fan, so please make it happen.
Okay, no problem.
I'm rooting for it. I just don't believe it until I see it because I got to keep it logical.
Larry, now let's say this now. Hold on. And Crypto, I know you came up here. I'll say this and I'll let you go, bro. Odell Beckham, I've been clowning him all year. Like, yo, we signed this guy. He's mad old. We just gave him a retirement check. He was dropping passes. He's starting to catch the ball right now. Yeah. Maybe it took, like I'm saying about Christian Wilkins before he got hurt, it takes time to gel. Maybe he's starting to gel because now he's making catches. Yeah. Then we got Smith, who we signed. We haven't had anybody since Mike Gesicki with Tua as far as a tight end and him throwing the ball and the guy making clutch catches. Gesicki's the last guy I can think of.
Yes.
I mean, we threw some to Smythe and, but now we got a guy who can run up the field. And then now Hill and Waddle are starting to get back involved because, Tua wasn't throwing the ball over there at first. So now maybe everything's starting to gel. Barring injuries, if everybody stays healthy, and it keeps on the trend that we see. And we got really 4 goons at running back. People forget about Wilson. Okay, yeah. Wilson is a goon. I don't care. I love him. I hate it when we got rid of Duke Johnson. Yeah. Wilson reminds me of Duke Johnson. It's going to get them yards. Like and then we got Raheem Mostert. We got Wright. We got Achane. We got 4 goons at running back. So we'll have fresh legs the whole time. And we're one of the fewest sacked teams in the league. Yeah. When you look at it, really, our offensive line has been playing pretty okay. And as far as run blocking, look at how the running backs are producing. So our offensive line is okay. What's the problem on offense? And now we're starting to gel. So maybe there is moving forward, and we build off of every game, we just get better, and it might be that. And if I'm wrong, somebody could tell me. But finally, we really, like Larry said, Smith has been like a third receiver, but then we got Beckham who's starting to catch the ball now. Yes. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4 really good receivers. I won't say really good. We got 3 really good and 1 that's becoming serviceable and it could be really good. And then we got 4, in my opinion, really good running backs and a decent serviceable offensive line.
Yeah.
Mike McDaniel is the only person that can mess us up. I didn't even talk about the game this week. Yo, when he went for the touchdown instead of taking the points, the field goal, I was hot. I mean, we made it cool, but I was hot. He needs to stop that, bro. It's not like we've been blowing teams out the water or like, yo, we're in a do or die situation. Don't take points. We're playing the 2-7 Raiders. Why are we taking points off the board? Like, come on, man. McDaniel,
backfired to that point.
That's the only person I'm really worried about more than anybody is McDaniel ruining it for us with his bullshit calls. Sorry.
But really, no, we'll see. It'll come down to that. We'll see.
Taking points off the board is crazy. Yeah. I'm sorry. That early in the game, especially, get out of here.
Yeah. No, I hear you. It's Carrie D, another Fury fan member in the building. What's up, Carrie? Happy Tuesday, everyone, here for the conversation. I might believe in Santa Claus, but I'm not totally on the Fins train until the toys on the island of misfits get rescued. Exactly, until we reach 500. We ain't
Yeah, man.
believers until then, Carrie D. So
Yeah, that's pretty much. Hey, you know what? That's pretty much this panel. We're the panel of misfits toys in this motherfucker.
we
You
are.
know what I'm saying?
we're the
Damn,
channel
Shake.
of misfit toys. That's what this
That's
channel
quite the
is.
indictment, Shake.
We are out here just riffing and calling it like it is, man. And we, this channel, because of you guys, does pretty good, man. And it's funny because dignitaries come on here, like dudes with bigger channels and dudes who people know come on here, and they know what we're saying. They like to tune into what we're saying, and we do what we do. So we appreciate the members and the people join. But we are misfit toys, and we got our lane and we rock with our lane. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna do a quick shameless plug. Everybody knows me and Crypto were the currency connection, and we do Insomnia. Lucci was on. Greg was on. Lucci was talking about his entrepreneurship. Greg was on. You're gonna be on the week before the Jets. And I'm looking forward to that. But this week, Insomnia is gonna be Sean from Red, White, and Bills and Michael K versus me and Crypto. It's gonna be Dolphins.
I like it. It's
gonna be Dolphins versus Buffalo. Hopefully, we get a win. Buffalo gets at least the Dolphins get a win on Pick'ems, and it is what it is.
Right against the Bills fans.
I like it.
We can make up for what our teams didn't do.
Exactly.
What we can make up for what the Dolphins didn't do. Maybe the fans can make up for it and beat the Bills fans and pick them.
Get a W over the Bills. Yeah.
Right. We got to get some kind of W over them this year, right?
Jordan,
we'll do it.
I'll take it.
Oh yeah.
Jordan, it's come down to Tua's starting to make for once. Not for once, because he used to do this early in his career when I believed that he was the guy. There was a point when I believed Tua we got the right guy. Tua's extending plays, and he's doing it intelligently. Now, when he dives head first, that's obviously not what I'm talking about. But he had a couple of plays this past week where he's extending plays. But ultimately, man, the proof is in the pudding, man. Even though when Tua was out, some of our backups took some hits. Who are these guys? Tim Boyle, my guy. Now I thought what's his name from Baltimore would do better, and he's a hometown guy. I thought he'd do better.
Right.
The kid's from Hollywood. I can't think of his name.
Huntley.
And Huntley. Thank you, Greg. And then we got Skylar Thompson. Even with them being mobile and stuck and being forced to play a playbook that was built specifically for Tua. And I really believe that them guys could have just, maybe minus Tim Boyle, if them guys could have had something that was more designed to their abilities, maybe they wouldn't have took the hits that they took. But these guys were really stuck in quicksand trying to be a quick release like Tua. They wouldn't have took the hits that they took. Having said that, even with all them getting hits like they hit, we still are one of the fewest sacked teams in the league. So I can't go with that. It's just a quick release. It's not, because them guys were holding the ball like it was super glued to their hand.
And even Tua's holding it longer now and doing better.
I mean, so come on,
there
bro.
is some evidence there.
I can't go with. I don't believe that our offensive line is not playing good. I think they are, Jordan. Could they play better? Sure. I mean, they could be the 1992 Dallas Cowboys offensive line. I mean, but what are you going to do? Nobody's going to be perfect, bro. It is what it is. Right. But I feel like they got enough time. But Tua's doing good, man. Tua's extending them plays. He's moving around. He's throwing the ball. He's not just sitting back there like a sitting duck like he was last year. I feel like he gained that weight and maybe he was a little bit sluggish.
Yeah, he's playing different even since the injury, bro. Like he wasn't playing that way the first two games either. All of a sudden, he's got a different element to his game.
Yeah, he does. So maybe they know something we don't.
Yeah, nice to see.
But Larry, listen, I'm going to go watch Home Alone 2. It's that time of the year.
All right, bro. Yeah.
All right, God bless you, Greg.
Make sure you watch Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer while you at it.
I'll get your number from Shakes, Greg. That way I can keep in touch, and if I could help you in any way, I'll help you.
Yeah. That's all right, my brother. I'll
Larry,
see you.
good to see you. I love you, Shake. I love you. Everybody in the chat, Crypto, God bless you. Jordan, it costs less than a cup of coffee, my guy, and that could, help build the channel of guys that don't know what they're talking about. You know, maybe we need the money. If
Yeah.
we had the money,
I
we
had
could
the
do
money.
better research, and then we'll do better, my guy.
Yes,
Michael
sir.
K, I love you too. Michael K is my guy. God bless him. And Raph and Kosa, if you're still here. All right, guys.
Yeah, Costa's the man.
Yeah, but listen, I think I like our chances against New England, and I actually think we'll be set up for that Thanksgiving game. I'm looking forward to it, actually, and I love the fact that so many people are in the chat and watching that are subscribers that do support the channel, and we can go back and forth. Bentley said before, you know, a channel that's not screaming because you have different opinions. That's this channel. We are cordial, we are objective, we kind of have nice conversations. We might get heated here and there, but for the most part, we talk respectfully, and you could understand what we're saying and this and that. So we appreciate all of you guys. What happened, G?
Just passionate fans talking.
Yeah, passionate fans, and we add comedic to it, man. We got the segments, and we got G's rants, and we got me acting a fool with my rants after the games. I mean, you know, we entertain you too. It's a fun channel. It's not just sports analysis nonstop. You know, we're also characters you've learned to associate with and what to expect from, and it's entertainment, man. That's why you support the channel. So continue to support the channel. Click subscribe, click the join button, become a Fury fan member. Shake and I got stuff cooking up for you for the off season and for the regular season.
Oh yeah, and season 3 of In the Blender. It's
Yeah.
gonna be
Season
I'm
3
excited for that one.
of In the Blender is a great show, but go back and watch season 2 and season 1 if you haven't seen it yet. Just some excellent guests on there. Shake does a great job with it. The happy hour on Thursdays. I do my Mondays when the Dolphins engaging me a little bit more. I haven't done them in a little while, but I do those, and we do my little written column for members. So at the end of the day, man, you know, join and support, and we appreciate it. And Joe says, who's a Fury fan member, we are the real channel coming from a Dolphin fan from 50 years. And Jordan here, it's all in good fun, bro. And Jordan, you're allowed to have your take, man. Like, you know, some people, you might not agree with their takes or whatever else. You're allowed to have that. You're certainly allowed to have that opinion, my brother. But at the end of the day, and then you see Lewis in here. Crazy, man. And CB3's in here. But listen, man, I'm going to hop off too at this point because the show was great. We had our little panel. We had our little talk. It went really well.
But real quick, we'll
Don't
go
listen to Lewis. Don't listen to Lewis in the peanut gallery. Don't listen to him.
Hey, listen,
that's the peanut gallery talking.
Cook will be cooking. He says it's semantics. That's all I know.
Yeah.
But listen, I just want to say that Marissa Marino is on a semi-retirement for now, and that made me one of my favorite episodes. It was a good day that day when I interviewed Marissa Marino. That was a great podcast when I interviewed Marissa Marino, and also right after that, I interviewed Raphael Courtright. So that day, I tell you what was I've had, you have good days and bad days. And every time I feel like I don't want to do this anymore, I thank God that I have In the Blender, and I look at some of the episodes, and it helps bring back the joy, and it reminds me what I'm doing this for. You know what I'm saying? And I appreciate everybody, especially Raphael Courtright, man. He was a great interview.
Yeah, he
was also he was also on Insomnia, talking about his experiences in the Marines. That's another good listen. So
yeah, check it. And bro, this does become work. Like at the end of the day, it still takes work. Shake sets up the show. I got to get ready for it. He tees up things. Like we got the graphics. We have to edit. And it's
make sure everybody gets the link.
Yeah, it's fun, but it's not. It's also work. So that's why we appreciate all the support. But Carrie D, shouts to you too. I mean, this is a community, and you guys keep it running with all your support. So we appreciate that, man. And look, there's a bunch of content. There's a bunch of takes for different channels and different people, and everybody's entitled to their own taste and to watch what they want to watch. So we're just happy you guys tune into us, and I personally thank you for tuning into me. This has been a journey. We'll do a little show, you and I, Shake, at some point, maybe right when the off season starts, to kind of commemorate some of our memories and origins, new beginnings, because the channel's been running for a couple of years now. So that might be a fun thing to do. But we do appreciate you guys in that way. Now I'm going to go around for final thoughts on this week and the upcoming game, and then we're going to sign off. So I'll start with G. Final thoughts for tonight.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little worried about the game because it's the Dolphins. Any given game we find a way to lose it, even if it's a given win. I'm worried, just because I don't know how Drake May is gonna do against us, but I still feel confident we should win this game. But maybe by the end of the week, my worries will go away. But I'm still gonna have them. But yeah, I think we should win. And Thanksgiving gonna be an interesting game. It's gonna be a long day, a long night. I'm excited for it. Just take care of business this week. That's all I'm asking. Just take care of business, and then hopefully things fall our way. Hopefully things fall our way Sunday, and then hopefully we come out with a nice little victory on Thursday, and hopefully more things fall our way, and hopefully Santa brings us a great present for Christmas this year.
Yes. And G, send me that paper.
Yep, I already sent it.
All right, cool. I'll talk to you about that off air later.
Yeah.
All right, bro. Crypto, final thoughts. Bye, G.
Hey, thanks, Michael, Larry K. Can you hear me?
Hey,
I
man.
can hear
My
you,
mic. I said Michael. Michael K. I mean Larry K. Hey, listen. I think that it's gonna be an interesting down the stretch game. Now we find ourselves upside down in the standings. Now I don't want to. I know we have to be laser focused on the trying to get that 7th seed or whatever, because basically the division is pretty much mathematically out of reach because the Bills' magic number is 2. All the Bills have to do is just win 2 games or their final games, and they will be the division champions. Or any combination of Dolphin losses that equals to that 2 games. Their magic number is 2 now. So we basically got to focus on the 7th seed right now and go one step at a time. But when it comes to that, that is going to be a next couple of games. Greg is a little worried about next game because it is a divisional game before we even go to Green Bay. We last time we played Green Bay it was on Christmas Day, and they put coal in our stockings.
Yes.
So we don't want them to freaking make our turkey dinner, just as bad when it comes to, spoil our meal. So the NFL schedule makers are trying to give us a do-over by giving us another holiday game against them to try to make it right. So let's not disappoint the schedule makers by giving us this do-over, because Green Bay was the team that pretty much put coal in our stockings 2 years ago. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Me too, my brother.
The next upcoming next couple of weeks leading into December.
Sounds good, bro. Yeah, me too. Let's get redemption for that coal, Crypto. Always a pleasure, my bro.
Yeah, exactly.
Shake Money. Final thoughts.
And two people I want to thank that has been that's on. I don't know if you're still watching, but if you're still watching, man, Lewis is doing a great show, phenomenal work at the Blitz Pickup, and of course, my man CB83. He played tight end at Howard University. He was a high school offensive lineman coach. This guy I think, is one of the most underrated YouTubers out there. Same thing with Lewis, but and I always appreciate that no matter what panel I'm on or what channel I'm on, both of them come and at least for a few minutes show me love. And I just want to take this moment to thank you guys. And thank you, Larry. I'm excited for the future as far as, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? I think the future is bright for us, man. And also, I also want to give Michael K the universal signal of love. So when I do give that signal, just hit me out. Here you go. So I'm out.
All right, brother. See you later, my bro. And the feeling's obviously mutual. We're building. The future. This is just the beginning for us and what we're doing, bro. And I appreciate you. So Dolphins, I think they're gonna win this week. And by the way, yeah, shout to CB playing for Howard, man. Rutgers plays Howard quite a lot. Great school, great tradition, great culture, great band. The band always travels with the team, and it's amazing every time. Get a lot of cheers, but obviously a storied institution. So look, end of the day, man, I think we're going to beat the Patriots. I think we take care of business. You could be hyped about May. You could think whatever you want about them. At the end of the day, bro, I think we are going to beat the Patriots. I don't think it's going to be that tall of a task. I think they put up a little bit of a fight early in the game. And then I think as the game wears on, Miami is just a better team. We have better personnel all over the field. I actually think, as of right now, May might get better in the future. My feelings on Tua overall, but I do think as of right now, Tua is the better quarterback. I think we definitely beat them. And at the end of the day, man, yeah, there you go, bro. Yeah, it's crazy. At the end of the day, yeah, man, that's RU's my alma mater. So I love that little thing we have back and forth, and I love the college sports, college ball. My boy played college ball out in Nebraska and then UNC, and so I got friends in the coaching ranks, all that. So it's always a pleasure to talk to football minds who played the game, who know what they're doing. And it's always a pleasure. But end of the day, man, I think we beat them. And then I think Thanksgiving, like I said, I'm having my turkey. I'm finishing up my baked ziti. I got my hors d'oeuvres, my pepperoni bread. I'm chilling, and I want to see a Dolphins victory. As Crypto said, man, it's redemption. And then I'll get on the train. And then I'll maybe not fully on the train. I'm still going to keep it real with you guys. I'm still going to be objective. But maybe I'll get a little more hyped and allow myself a little bit more excitement. Let's win these next 2 games. I think the first step is this weekend, and the first step, I think we take care of business. I'm looking forward to that. And Carrie D, I agree with you. I want the redemption story. I want to prove that we can win in December. We can win in cold weather. We can win when the pavement meets the road and the rubber meets the road. And we can take care of things, man. So appreciate all you guys for watching. If you still haven't done so and you're watching, just click that. It's right here. Right now, click subscribe. I'll wait a second just so you click it. You clicked it? Click subscribe. Right now, join the channel. Click join. Join. We need another member. Let's get another member before the intro plays out, man. Let's get another member to Fury Fam. We appreciate all your support. You keep us going. It's not always easy, but you guys make it enjoyable. And we love that. So props to everybody. Appreciate Lucci G, Shake, appreciate Crypto, appreciate Lewis and CB83 and Carrie D and Joe and Michael K and everybody in the chat, all the Fury Fam members far and wide. If you're a member, make sure you check out my little heart-to-heart video I had on the bench outside today. If you're not a member, become a member and see some of that behind-the-scenes stuff. But I'll talk to you guys probably after the game. It might be a written column before then if you're a member, so check that. Shake will talk to you on Thursday. Don't forget to check out the Currency Connection. Don't forget to check these guys out, man. Make sure you go over and check out Lewis's channel, CB83's channel, all the other channels, the Finn's Tailgate, and all our other partners and friends around the Dolphins content community. Larry K is out to watch some Christmas movies with the girl, and I'll catch you guys later. And that will do it for us. So good night, everybody.
I know you heard me on the radio flexing. She loved the sound of my voice, it's the best thing. Daydreaming of the jazz all day. Pick up the phone late night with Larry K. I know you heard me on the radio flexing. She loved the sound of my voice, it's the best thing. Daydreaming of the jazz all day. Pick up the phone late night with Larry K.